do it.
Hey everybody! I have a small head, and Steve has a quite large head. It's your host, Stephen Collin, from Who's That Anime? Talking about Who's That Anime?
It's Paranoia Agent again.
Oh yeah, it's still Paranoia Agent. Yeah, yeah.
As
What was it? I've forgotten the episode numbers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
So that's Steve.
7, 8, 9. 8 and 9. We're prepared for this. I'm totally ready.
Stevie. 100%.
I'm so ready.
100%.
100% ready. I will just preface, because I have also explained this to Colin. I was at the dentist today, and I am not great at opening and shutting my jaw, so gonna try and get through this as best as possible.
Yeah, he's doped up to the nines.
Oh yeah, if only, then I wouldn't feel it anymore.
Yeah.
Not feeling it would be nice, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Doped up to the nines.
Yes.
Is that even a term?
Drugged to the gills.
Drugged to the gills.
Bevied to the max.
Bevied to the max.
I'm now out of synonyms of that phrase. Something to the something.
Cinnamons.
Yeah, I laughed. We got some newfound popularity with our RSS feed since we put it on YouTube. That popularity is now waned, Colin. We're now back to normal levels of stuff. So, but during that time, we did get a lovely comment that I said, what was it? Oh shit! Was it like the person said like, "Oh God, you guys have like a PhD in yapology."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh man, that's a T-shirt." It was hang on, a PhD in yapology is what the comment said. So I liked the comment and said, "and degrees in baloney," which I thought was like probably the best response we could have given.
I didn't even see that.
Nah, I responded to it really quick because I think it came in an email. I was like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, I mean, made me laugh because I was like, "Oh shit, somebody gets us." Somebody gets the bit.
Yeah. Was it talking about drugs that made you realise it reminded you of that because the username from the comment was
Oh, it wasn't actually, but yeah, I should highlight that the username was, I won't give the full number, but it was weed illegal weed. Ow.
Oh man, Steve's in so much pain.
Weed illegal weed. Oh my god. That is so fucking good. Like, what kind of person named like that is like, let's play a game. That person probably plays a lot of Call of Duty in their life.
Yeah.
And their gamer tag, if it's not weed illegal weed, is probably like Spliff Master No Scope 360 with X's on either side.
Oh, how many X's?
Probably like one little one and then a big one. Like,
not a big and little one, and then
maybe maybe like triple X because he's into porn as well. I don't know.
You're just slandering the guy now, man.
I'm just saying, with a name like Weed Illegal Weed,
it's a good comment.
There are only so many interests I imagine you have, and they're probably the Venn diagram of people that enjoy a good blunt and play Call of Duty is probably quite an overlap, I think.
I mean, you
to a degree.
might not play Call of Duty. That's a speculation.
That's true. That is true. But yeah, shout out We Legal Weed. You're 100% right. We have PhDs in yapology, and I was also correct in that we do have masters in baloney. So, or degrees in baloney rather. So there you go.
That's pretty good.
Quality. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did laugh, give a good hearty laugh when I read the comment. That being said, probably yapped on a little bit there. So
Oh,
should we get into it?
one more thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's nothing interesting. Just say that yeah, both our feeds are now on YouTube, so you'll get
Oh
the audio
yeah.
feed and you'll still getting video feeds.
It is quite an interesting thing, I must admit. I imagine what happened is that because there's not many people are using the feature yet, they like boosted our feed for a few days, and now they've decided not to do that anymore. Where we've kind of come back down to earth ever so slightly.
But
Yeah, our numbers are very normal now, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I don't know, I think they're still kind of high.
They were very high, coincidentally, up until about midday yesterday, and then they started dropping.
Oh, it is true. I can see that in the graph. The graph goes
Yeah.
whoop, give you the middle finger, down.
Yep. So I am 100% behind the idea that it was like, oh, we can stop serving this now.
Yeah,
The time has passed.
it's got 9 subscribers though, apparently.
Yeah,
Well, maybe
that's
not 9,
nice.
but at least 7.
At least 7. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
T-shirts are on the way.
Yeah, one of them is going to read PhDs in yapology.
Yeah, we got like 6 T-shirts now. So
I'm going to need to go back through the episodes and find out what they were. So
I digest.
I digest is definitely one of them.
Uh, yep. That's the one I remember.
That is one of the 6 T-shirts that we did have ideas for. It'll be interesting when we have a little idea for a piece of content. Maybe at some point next year, it'll be interesting if we do have a separate feed for that. Maybe at some point. I don't know how that'll work. Like if we have to set up another feed or we can filter. So
I think this creates
yeah.
another playlist in our channel.
Thing is though, if we put them on the same feed,
Huh?
it'll have no way to differentiate them. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. I guess I'll need to figure that out.
Oh, yeah. So you need to do that. That's maybe a separate thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have a think about it. I don't think it's like critical or anything like that. It's just an interesting thought.
Yeah. Anyway, we digest.
All too frequently. So first up is episode 8, Happy Family Planning, which is an episode I think that could have been improved greatly by the use of subtitles where there was a lot of Japanese text that I couldn't read.
Yeah. Well, I had subtitles for it.
I had subtitles. I just didn't have subtitles where there was text, except where it would say keyboard clacking. It's like, oh, that's really useful for me.
Oh,
I can't read Japanese, unfortunately.
oh well, I had all that conversation because I forgot it's kind of like a thing. So how does this one start off? Is it just like this guy is wandering around and bumps into the other guy?
They're wearing thingy backpacks.
Minori.
I'm gonna get there. Maromi.
Maromi backpacks.
Yep,
Um,
they're adorable.
yeah. and are looking to meet up.
But why are they looking to meet up, Colin?
Oh, well, you don't really know that until a bit later.
Do you not like? Because so here's the thing: is like I don't know that.
Yeah, no, it's not really discussed. They just start talking about things and meeting up, and I can't really remember what the subtitles are for because they're part of a forum board, essentially talking about meeting up, and so there's an old guy, and then
Fuyabachi.
yeah, Fuyabachi, and then there's a bigger guy who's Zebra,
Yep, zebra.
and I think these are essentially handles for being online,
Yeah,
and then they're looking for Konomi.
Kamomi. Yeah,
Konomi.
it is. I like the way that this is shot because obviously they're waiting on the third in their trio to meet up, and they look across the road and see this little girl wearing a Maromi backpack, and they just kind of stare at each other, and then the camera position has like her on the left and them on the outside on the right, just going like, oh no, she's a girl. Why is she so young? This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah. They were like, "Oh no, it's a girl. That can't be her. That's a girl. I thought she'd be older." And does the thing and think,
She sure as shit knows their names. So
"Yeah, yeah." And she comes up and goes, "Fibiaba, Fibiaba, zebra, 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 zebra."
and it's yeah, further enforcing she is not very old.
Uh,
Uh
yeah, and
oh
then
boy.
the old guy, Fibiaba,
Fuyabashi.
Fuyabashi,
Fuyabachi. He uh
Fuyabashi.
he
He
power walks out of the situation.
he just kind of ducks, goes nope, and then runs away. Well, the other two like kind of like hold hands and start chasing him
Yep.
because Zebra's like, "Hey, this is kind of fun! Yay, let's run!" And then I think Zebra realizes that. Oh wait, actually, he's running for real.
He's running for a reason, and it's because I don't want to be seen with a minor.
Yeah,
Like
a
this
random
this whole situation is really bad.
meeting up with a random miner in the street, and then
Yeah.
so Zebra kind of lets go, and they both leg it, and she's like,
Yep.
"Oh, wait for me, come back, come back, wait for me." Uh, and then she tries. They
They
kind of get
they go to an abandoned house, no?
yeah. Well, they kind of start running, and Fubashi is essentially he basically states it's his last pill. I think he then
Mm.
takes it again at that point.
He does. Like that's a common theme in this episode, actually, and I wonder if that's yeah. We'll talk about that, I guess.
Yeah, and then he basically gets a phone call from Konomi, who then appears on the bridge, the a bridge above them, looking down on him,
Yep.
and he ignores him and rubbers him, and then the next thing they're in this abandoned house, looking.
Yeah. Well, they're doing something that's a bit weird.
Yeah,
There he is burning something and creating a gas that he is. They're both desperately inhaling. When she arrives, and they're like, "Oh fuck,
oh yeah,
why is
found
she here?"
a shitload of pills.
Oh yeah, yeah, they are doing
Zero's
that
just
too.
munched on these random pills for like I don't know, a good 5 handfuls, and he's not small. He's like a large
No,
guy.
we should probably say at this point, I guess, trigger warning for any sort of things like suicide or suicidal ideation. Um, this episode has a lot of that in it.
100%. I think essentially the forum is a suicide forum that they all socialize on.
Yeah, yeah, I think like that certainly
A
becomes
suicide
clear,
board.
and
Yeah.
that on top of that is like probably why they were so perturbed when they saw how young she was.
Yeah, yeah. This is like, oh no, it can't be that. Got to like not kill her. So basically, they're in the band house doing whatever, and then I think Zebra gets a call and he answers it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Zebra," and then she goes, "Zebra," and she's in the room with him. And she's like, "Oh
Yeah,
fuck," and then a big bucket from a digger bursts through the house.
yeah. The building starts to become demolished with them in it.
Yeah,
Uh, so the first of their attempts are thwarted, and they have to abandon the building.
yeah. Um, and then on the message boards, it says, "Oh, another good way to die. Plan B would be uh
Oh,
to jump in front."
jump in front of a train, subway train.
Yeah, and I assume that they're actually are maybe dead at this point.
Okay,
I think they are.
I don't think so, but okay.
Well,
Uh,
Digger kind of burst through the wall, and they're like, "Oh, ah!" And then they were like outside, and then people just kind of ignored them.
yeah, it's a fair point.
And
I
then,
don't know, but yeah, they basically they decide it's like, oh, we're gonna go on a train ride. This is gonna be so much fun.
well,
Uh,
so they're doing the suicide attempt, and the old man Phoebe Ashley's like, "Right, I'm going to go first.
yeah, you're gonna follow, but you're gonna push her back.
Yeah, you got to save her." It's like, okay,
Yeah, because we're
so
not fucking doing this.
yeah, and she's just dancing around like a child.
She, he is like so close to just throwing her onto the line anyway because she's annoying.
Yeah, maybe. But then, so the train's coming in, and it's like, okay, we're doing it, and uh,
Yep,
and then this other guy just goes, trolley ball.
it is actually incredible. He just like full on like Green Man walking across the road level.
Yeah, yeah, in front of the train,
Uh, Power Man stance straight into the train.
and then
Uh,
and then
it's
everyone's
great.
kind of like just looking discussing. She's going, oh, that what it looks like. It's not very pretty. Don't want to go that way.
No.
Okay, so they
On the
this.
plus side, though, the guy survives
Oh,
and walks away.
you think he survives?
I don't know.
I mean,
It's a
that's another thing. That's another reason why I think they're dead because he get Zebra kind of just like watches the guy climb up and goes, ah, that was so painful. Ah, yeah, and they kind of
that's
limps away.
that's a really interesting take. I didn't ever question that, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So I think it was that. So they're already dead. So he saw that and walked away, and then they go away, and then she says, "Let's go on a train ride. I want to go on a train ride," and so they did. They go on a train ride, and she's going, "Look, scarecrow, 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 pawn, pawn,
oh,
pawn."
she's just
Single.
naming everything in the field. It's like, oh my god, please stop.
Just like being in the car with me.
Poor Fuibachi has given up though. He is asleep
Yeah, but with his eyes open.
with his eyes open, and she does like grab his face and hit him a little bit,
Yeah,
and he eventually just collapses and hits his head on the armrest of the train.
and he goes, shoo, 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 shoo. And then you just get a proper snoring.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
uh,
But they get out and they go a hike.
yeah, because the next play action is to go into the woods because you won't be found, or you'll be found quickly there. Maybe misheard them. So they go up to the top of the hill, and says, "Did you bring the rope? Because vines are not reliable." But this is
They are not.
yeah. So they're kind of getting messages from this guy called Fox on the message board.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't like. I can't remember if I've seen that because that is written in English. The
hmm,
handle,
uh-huh,
maybe.
maybe yeah.
But yeah, the messages I have no clue about.
So he's basically advising them how else you can go in your life. So they
I
go up
did
to the.
think it might be something like that.
It wasn't so clear until the little girl appears in the hut.
Yeah, yeah. I figured that the thing is in the synopsis for the episode it explains that they're three members of an internet suicide pact, basically. That's their thing.
Yeah,
And this is their first time meeting together. Uh
yeah.
so
Which is why they got freaked out by the little kid. Uh,
mm,
so they
yeah.
go up. So they go up to the top of this hill, find a branch, and create three nooses. And then they get hung up on the fact of who's counting them down because they haven't
Well,
decided that yet.
first you see Zebra cutting Kamome's noose so that it's going to snap.
Oh, I didn't click on that bit.
He
Yeah,
he's making it so that hers will not take her
yeah,
way, so that
yeah.
she'll survive.
Mhm.
But yeah, as you say, like they get hung up on who's supposed to count them in when they're standing on a pile of rocks, and Zebra slips, one rock falls away, and he starts to choke slightly.
Mhm.
And Komomi's like, "Hey, that looks fun." It's like I don't understand what part of you thinks that looks fun, but she then starts to just jump up and down by her neck and hands with the rope,
Yeah,
choking Zebra and Fuyabachi as she goes.
yeah. Well, see when he slips and choke, he's just like, "Hey, you counting us in? You doing it? You doing it?"
It's like, what? What are you talking about? Oh shit!
Yeah.
Shit.
And she jumps up and down so much the branch breaks, and oh, of course her ropes
Hers
kind of breaks free,
snaps.
and then the branch kind of takes the other two down the hill, and they're like, "Oh shit! I thought I was going to die there."
Yep.
And they're like, "All right."
I This is kind of sad, I think, this part because it shows the different mentalities. I like I don't I don't know what's wrong with everyone that this is the path they're choosing.
Mhm.
I have my suspicions about Fuyabachi, but I don't really know why Kamomi or Zebra might be in the circumstance they're in. But when they're at the bottom of the hill after having rolled down there and Kamomi is yelling after them and Zebra's about to respond,
Mhm.
Fuyabachi's like, don't say anything. Like, just you can't. We need to do this and let her not be a part of it. And then he's
Mhm.
like, but if we leave her here, won't she just die? And he's like, oh fuck. Yep, okay.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like she is genuinely upset at the thought of being alone.
Mhm.
And I kind of that was maybe a bit of a thing for Kamome is I wonder if like she is alone, like
Yeah.
that's her thing. Um, she
Possibly.
seems so happy to be with other people.
Mhm.
And at the first thought of not being able to find the people she was with again, it really upset her. So yeah,
Mhm.
I do wonder if there's like a little bit of loneliness that has driven her to where she is.
Yeah, I think so. I think it could be that. As certainly she didn't seem, that ecstatic when they first met. She was just there staring at her phone.
Yeah, I I think it's that thing of like a lot of these shows can have very dark undertones. We've seen a lot of that even in this
Mhm. This one's
this one.
pretty. This one pretty has.
Um, so my mind immediately was like, oh, there's probably some not great reasons for this.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that may not be the reason. There is a so they all meet up and they're like they're like, okay, we need to we to go and get sort of some rest and clean up and stuff like that. And they visit a bathhouse where there's a really uncomfortable bathing scene.
Yeah. I mean, that's I understand it would be kind of the standard for the baths over there. Anyway, but going back to the forest in the
I
ground,
missed out a detail.
Zebra has a necklace. It pops
He has a
open,
locket. Yeah.
and he's in love with a man.
Yeah. I suppose that is potentially his drive.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, like, I guess homosexuality is maybe not as accepted in certain countries.
Mm-hmm.
So potentially that is the impetus in his case.
Yeah, or maybe it's religion based over.
Could be totally.
Anyway,
Do you think you have a read on Fuyubachi?
Fubachi, I think, has got a terrible illness.
I thought it was dementia because he multiple times says the last pill.
Yeah, I mean, I was just putting that down to I think they're already dead.
Potentially, like
It
you
might
say,
be dementia.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to make of that. But yeah, that to me felt like a little bit of a snippet into his reason is like
Yeah,
wanting to go on his own terms,
yeah,
which I
can't.
think like people do
Yeah,
if they can.
yeah. It's not probably one of the worst ways to go. I mean, I assume it's fairly painless, but
Well, I think
nah.
that's what Terry Pratchett did, right?
Oh, did he euthanize himself eventually?
He went to Switzerland, I think, to do so because it's
Yeah.
illegal.
Yeah, yeah, he had the Alzheimer's too.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, my gran had that. It's not nice. It's not
No,
nice.
it is thoroughly unpleasant. But I think like the whole thing of this is that the episode itself is weird because it's called Happy Family Planning, which is such a bizarre title.
It is.
And then to have um the circumstances that the episode dictates as well is really odd. I must admit I a part of this is later on is now clicking with me about the idea that they were dead the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. So they're in this spa, essentially, and getting the hot bath and doing the whole bathhouse treatment in the hills, hot baths and all that. And then I think they start talking about Little Slugger, Learner Heaton. Oh, you were a Little Slugger. He took he killed Fox. I was like, oh, I thought that was Little Slugger. He killed himself in the cells. It's like, no, that was an imposter, and that turned out to be Fox. Their handle, he died
Yeah,
to it.
that's right.
Which, again, is weird how they're relating to Texas, because it looked like the message that they're having was in real time when I was reading it, because we were talking
Okay.
about things. And anyway, so they're basically, shit, he was so lucky. Wouldn't mind getting Little Slugger to take me out, type thing.
Yeah.
All three of them are like that.
Must be nice.
Yeah. And then so they got a room and they're going to sleep. And they lie in bed and talking away, and then says, "Oh, Bashi, what did you say?" I said nothing. And they're just hearing a scuffle outside. Oh, maybe it's Weasel. I don't like weasels. Maybe it's a bear. It's even worse. and then it's like a bat just peers through like the screen door, and it's like, what's that?
It's right in Fuyabachi's face, like
Yeah.
he's looking directly into the bottom of it.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like a bat. And then they open up and guy's like, it is, and then he, Little Slugger gives him the wee smile. I was like, oh wow, it is him. Ah, finally get to see you. Hey, let's do it. And
And
then
they fucking run at him.
yeah, and he's going, "This fuck," and he
Yeah,
runs away. He legs it down the stairs and all the commotion, and then everyone else is kind of there. The maids of the house are there too, and wonder what all the commotion is, and they run out, and then eventually they end up like a 7-Eleven slash convenience store
yeah,
somewhere, and says, "Ah, he got away." And then they're just standing in this car park, and they're talking about how wish that Little Slugger would take them out still. It's like, and then Tubiashi's kind of there and hears crows, and then has like a weird panic attack, which makes me think you might be right with the dementia. But
yeah.
also,
That yeah. But also,
he kind of looks at everyone,
yeah.
especially Konomi. He doesn't see a shadow for her.
So I I didn't know what to make of that scene. I thought it was just him struggling
Yeah,
and having a panic attack, which, I imagine could be fairly powerful and
could be
things like that.
because Zebra catches him because he falls back,
He
and
does, yeah.
then he said, and Konomi's like, "Oh, you need to take your medicine. Take your medicine," because he has his panic attack just after looking at the bottle and going, "Oh, it's my last pill."
Yeah.
But he didn't take it, and he kind of hears crows, and then goes into the panic attack, and then everything's happening, and then after it kind of settles down, I think he touches Zebra's arm and goes, "Oh, it's warm," and Zebra goes, "Stop that! It's embarrassing," and throws him
Yeah,
onto
it's
the
weird.
ground,
Face first.
face first,
Yeah.
and then he goes, "Ow."
Yeah.
Uh, and then does it end at that point?
Yeah, they're kind of all skipping hand in hand. And then they stop behind a group of girls to get like photobomb them.
Oh no, that's right. The photo bomb with the girls.
Because to me, I thought the girls were aware of it to a degree.
Oh,
But now it makes sense that
because
yeah,
they scream
they
at the
weren't.
end.
They do,
Like
and
when they
I
look at the
that was
picture.
the bit I was meaning that sort of like engaged my brain a bit on that. So they've probably been dead since the start then.
Yeah. Uh, and then the final scene of
Yeah.
this episode zooms onto a condom machine and says, "Ultra thin condoms, perfect for the family," or something.
I think it's happy family planning is what it says.
Yeah, but it was ultra thin
Yeah.
condoms. It's like what?
So would like that makes me quite sad actually that they've been dead since the start.
I think I don't know. I think
Well, actually, I've just had a quick look, and the reference says that they've stopped adding shadows after they left the building when the diggers were there.
yeah. So they didn't escape the diggers because it was literally there,
Yeah,
knocking down the wall.
yeah, and I just took the little pieces of human interaction they had for granted.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really sad.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't.
Because,
Mhm.
well, what do you take the name of the episode to mean?
What was it again? Little
Happy family planning.
happy family planning. I don't know. What do you take it as then?
Well, I think that's what makes it sad. Is like I guess I felt that it was, three people who were alone one way or another,
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason, uh, had made their own family. It's like out of coincidence has come because like you see them skipping, holding hands, and just enjoying themselves and like enjoying each other's company.
Yeah.
And I think that's, to me, that's what that was. Is like, there's an irony in this, is that you've kind of found a family in doing this. You found meaning in your life
Yeah.
that you didn't have before.
Well, that's
Although that's somewhat marred by the fact that they seem to be stuck in a perpetual cycle of trying to find better ways to kill themselves.
yeah. I mean, they obviously haven't picked up on like the fact that they probably have created a nice family unit. They found
Yeah,
their tribe, as what people like to call that shite. Like where you find people with the same interests as yourselves and that, and
yeah. Well,
get
it's.
close relationships.
I mean, what is it people always use is the. Uh, oh fuck. Uh, Blood is thicker than water.
Yeah.
But the thing about blood is thicker than water is that that's not the full quote. Because everyone uses blood is thicker than water to refer to like your blood relatives are more important than anyone else. But the actual quote is
Mhm.
the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb,
Okay.
which is basically means that it is more important. A bond is more important than family.
All right. Yeah.
So like it's not family that makes you close, it's your bond. Like that's not what that is, I guess. I always thought that was really interesting, like really misquoted thing.
Oh, I
um
get a lot of those. There's that one about the tools. I think bad workman blames his tools, or no, it's the master of.
oh, jack of all, master of none.
Yeah, which is like, I think there's something else to the end of that one.
A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
Yeah.
Yep. I've used that quote to describe myself and not the complete one. um so
Yeah.
uh man, that episode that has left me somewhat sadder.
It's a sad episode, man. It's
uh yeah.
it's like I say, it's like what that kind of spurned it on was the bit where he in the car park at the end. It's like, wait, they've been dead all this time. It's a bit Bruce Willis-y now.
Yeah, yeah. I think the thing is, it's like for me, I think it was just the little details that I didn't quite cotton on to, so
Mhm.
I ended up overwriting them with other things. Like I just never really questioned it.
Yeah, it's to be honest, this episode's. I don't see how it fits into the greater story of it,
Well,
because the only thing reference of they want to be taken by Little Slugger, but Little Slugger can't take him because he's
they're already
essentially
gone.
they're already dead at that point.
But is the more interesting thing then that Little Slugger reacted to them?
Yeah, well, it's great. He's was the last
So to
episode. He was the one he disappeared into the wall in the cell and
yeah,
everyone got fired.
so
Right.
I think it's like another hint towards what Little Slugger might be.
Yeah. Oh Jesus.
Uh, how do you rate this one, Colin?
I like I said, I think it felt a bit like a filler episode. That was just, but discussing the issue there certainly made it a bit more interesting in the sense of once you realise that the group of people are actually have met their end in the house, because as soon as that bucket went through, I was like, how did they escape without any commotion?
Yeah.
And then were just able to walk away from it all.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things where there was a point where they were on the train. I was like, man, this would be an amazing movie if you like elongated it because I think it's like it has that same energy as Tokyo Godfathers, like a misfit group
Yeah.
who are shunned by society, trying to, belong somewhere, and do something.
Hmm.
And I was like, it has that same thing for me. Like it's kind of as like many people have said, like episode 3, Double Lips is sort of a Perfect Blue approximation.
Hmm.
To me, this has that like really has that Tokyo Godfathers energy, and I loved that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I
Uh,
think it's a tough one. I think I did feel a bit like it was a bit fillery, but the more I talk about it, the more I am enthused by it.
yeah. I mean, I don't think it adds anything to the series as such. It's
No,
a, s- a nice kind of short story.
yeah. Well, the next one's a bit like that too.
Oh,
So
the next one's the next one's a bit
arguably more that.
paprika
Oh,
with all its
yeah, it
fiction.
really is.
Um, yeah, so I don't know. Rating this one, I'm going to keep a 7 because it's actually all right. It's a good. It has a good premise in it.
I was gonna give it a 7, but I think I will give it an 8. I think
Yeah.
it's definitely a more thoughtful episode than I gave it credit for.
Mhm.
Um,
You can overlook it easily.
yeah, I think like because it moves at such a clip as well, I think it's quite difficult to when you have an attention span like mine, it's quite difficult to sort of maintain that.
Yeah, it is
But yeah,
certainly.
like I think it is I think if you made a whole movie about that,
Mhm.
like it just expanded that one episode and like forget the little slugger part, like
Mhm.
just do this episode. I think that's you really would have something quite meaningful and quite emotional. Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
pretty good.
it was still good. God, absolutely, like you said.
Yeah, there's definitely elements of that in there for sure.
It made it a bit more family friendly.
I suppose with that all said, like obviously that's a rough episode.
Mm.
Uh please, if you are feeling like that, call someone. Please. Uh
Mm.
just I will drop in. Actually, we're UK based, so I don't really know any of the other ones, but like the Samaritans number is 116-123. You should phone them if that is how you're feeling. And anywhere else, like please just Google. Don't do anything. Google first. Uh
The number
yeah,
for
the
help.
number. The number for help.
Yeah,
Don't just ask Google stuff.
yeah.
It fails at that so often.
I was more meaning on more details and how to. Don't Google that.
Well, no, like on the lighter side of a darker note. Uh, I laughed because somebody did it. I can't remember if it was Siri and Cortana or whatever one, but like basically it was like I asked one assistant, it's like, hey, I'm feeling a bit low and I'm looking for a bridge to jump from. It's like, wow. And the smart device is like, please speak to someone. Here is a number for a contact for someone to speak to. I say, oh, that's a good response. And they asked the other speaker, and it's like there are 5 bridges in your area.
Yes.
You're like, oh shit, jeez,
Yeah.
that's rough. That's rough. That's I think that is an all the more emotionally impactful episode than I thought.
Mhm.
I was very ready to be like, I don't know, these seem like maybe not the best episodes we've watched for this one, but that one definitely has gone up in my
Yeah.
estimation, for sure. Um,
Don't know about this one though.
no, do you like this one? You want to kick us off? This one is called etc. or etc.
Yeah. So this one basically starts off with the group of housewives gossiping in the yard outside their apartment blocks
Yep.
about Little Slugger. And going, oh yeah, Little Slugger did this. And basically it's like, and then there seems to be an outcast one who's just moved and they kind of like tease her a lot. They'll be, oh
Yep.
yeah, you would know this because you've just moved. And it's like, all right. Well, here's the gossip, here's the 911. And they go, yeah, so you did this. I can't remember what, because it just goes off on weird tangents. Oh yeah, you came in and killed this person, but don't tell anyone. We won't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. No, 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 we
It's
won't.
like,
We
no,
won't.
no,
No,
no.
no, no.
And then they do this for a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no.
And then the quiet one, there's an outcast just shakes her head. It's like, oh, I won't do it.
No.
Uh,
She's clearly the new gossip in the block.
yeah. And then the next one comes up and says, oh yeah, did you hear about? I think
Well,
it was the
the
son.
the first story
Mm-hmm.
is the one about the boy who's doing the exam.
No,
Isn't
no,
it?
no. Don't think so. I think that's the second
Pretty
story.
sure it is. No, the second story was the pregnancy one. I think.
No, I don't know. There's so many stories. There's a bunch of like gossiping
Okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of
housewives.
very unrelated stories, and each of them is more unbelievable than the last.
Oh, that's because
Uh,
yeah. So they keep going
they're
up and
gossips.
they keep going up in estimates, and
Yeah, they're trying to outdo each other's stories this whole
yeah.
episode.
Um.
So, yeah, there
So
is the one story about the kid vomiting up words.
yeah, vomited up words.
Or sorry, maths formulas.
Yeah, up words because he had bat on his head when he was found because he coughed it up, and there's a line of bat on his head because so he was taking an exam, and he was like that, and then he was like, "Oh, I got a cold," and started like sneezing out all the words, and
Yeah.
it's like, "I'm ill. I need to go to the bathroom." It's okay, you can go there. So he goes there, and then he's trying to like eat all the words back into him. It's like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
I memorize you. You get back in there, you damn dirty word." And he gets a knock on the cubicle, and he goes, "I'm in here," and then knock again, "I'm in here," and then he looks up, and there's Little Slugger climbing over the cubicle door,
Yep.
and uh, and then the the examiner comes to check on him because he was taking too long,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole bathroom's just filled with blackness,
It
so
is, yeah.
it's all the words, and
They
then
beat all the words at him.
yeah, and then the word, and then he came out the cubicle, and it was like, blah, spews up more, and then one floats up and lands on himself, says bat.
That
And then there's
Which-
another.
that story they believe though. Like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
It's 100% believable, but this is why I'm thinking it's kind of paprika in essence,
Yeah.
with all
I
the
think the vignettes and things like that, it is quite wild.
yeah
The second one I'm pretty sure is like is the story that will probably matter the most, which is the young girl being stuck at home with the mother-in-law who hates her guts.
oh yeah, was that the second one?
That's the second one. Then the third one's the doctor one. And then after that, it kind of goes off the rails.
Oh,
because
what do you mean off the rails? The doctor ones
Oh,
were
sorry, yeah. Well, to be fair, like the other ones are even weirder than that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but it
that's
has
a fair point.
the fetus holding a bat.
Fetus holding a bat.
And I think that's the shy one telling that one because they're like, that's totally unbelievable. Doctors
It
would
is, you're right.
they just basically sneer on her and don't believe anything she says. And
How would an unborn baby get a bat? That seems totally unbelievable.
yeah, and
Why don't you be quiet?
and also the doctors would never make a grievous mistake like that because he's somehow switched
It was a
eggs
baby
and
being
sperm.
born. Yeah, it was a baby being born of in vitro fertilization, and the nurses reported to him that they had somehow used the wrong egg and the wrong sperm before they did the insemination, before
Yeah.
they did the insertion rather. And he's like, "Oh, burn this document, burn this document. No one can ever know that."
Yeah.
And she keeps coming in, and every conversation, she's like, "Yep." He's like, "Yeah, that's your baby. It's your baby in there. That's
Sweat,
100% your baby."
sweat, flowing in his head. And then I think the last time she came in, it's like, I've so much pain. So, oh
Yep.
no, could it be premature? It's like, no, it's not going to be a miscarriage. It's fine. And then they do it, and then it was Little Slugger inside the womb.
I think what's funny about that is it not only had the bat, it had a little hat on.
It
I
had the
didn't
hair,
know.
didn't it? It had
I
the whole
didn't
outline.
notice if it had. I didn't notice if it had skates on, but that would have been quite funny.
Oh man, it had the hairline. It had like the hat and the curly hair underneath it.
So stupid. So stupid.
And then, so there was like, oh, your husband's a famous screenwriter.
Oh,
Oh,
you should. Yeah, you should
talk
be
about
better at this.
yeah, talk about the famous. And then they just like, I think, cough out like some weird show, and the lady's like, "Oh wait, that's just a show. That's not real. That's just some random show you made up." Where it's like, the dude falls in love with the girl, and the girl's terminally ill, and she's going to die. So he's drawing
It's,
a
he
leaf on the
paints the
wall.
leaf because she says she's gonna die when the last leaf falls. He's like, "No, that can't be true."
I've stopped it. I managed to do it, so the leaf won't fall off now. And then this is on the opposite side of uh, the courtyard from so
Yep.
she can look through the window to it. And then he looks back and sees Little Slugger in the window. And then she
Yep.
dies, and then he dies
And then
as he falls off
as
the
he
ladder.
falls,
And
and
then
she's like, "I think that's a really famous story." He says, "What is it you're saying? Are you saying that I'm lying?" He's like,
and then
"No."
I think there's another story after that.
But we should talk. We should talk about the one where it's the woman who's stuck at home with the mother-in-law. Uh, all it is basically is she's like, "Oh, I hate the mother-in-law. She hates me."
Mhm.
And the husband is like always away
Mhm.
at work, and she phones up being like, "Hey, please come for my birthday. Like, I'd really love it if you were here for my birthday."
Mhm.
And I like when the mother-in-law like grabs the phone out of her hand and pulls it up, and the receiver cord just like pushes her nose up
Yeah,
over her face,
yeah,
and she's like, she goes, "No, no, a husband's important place is at work. That's where he should be putting all of his time in."
yeah.
And then the birthday present the mother-in-law gives the daughter-in-law is like a a grinding bowl, like a metal
Pestle.
mortar and pestle.
Hmm.
And she like fucking loses her shit and
Well,
like picks it up to bludgeon her.
that's because she starts telling her to make some fish balls or
Chicken,
something.
fish dumplings. It's like
That's-
you got some sardines and then you grind them up in this bowl. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah, because
Abso-fucking-lutely not.
she's on about something, and then I think the first interaction with it is like they're making it. She's made put some food, and she's just flipped the food over. It's like, this is
She has.
shop shite. This,
Yeah,
how
I
dare you? Yeah, I'm the one that put
Ugh.
down money for this condo, blah blah blah, and you haven't even given us any kids yet. And she's like, well, you're here. We can't.
Yeah, that's just like, you haven't given me any grandkids yet, and she's like, you're still here. I want you gone.
Yeah, very much. So anyway, after the pestle, she picks up the
The
mortar.
bowl.
And the old lady picks up the bowl and puts it on her head. It's a
Yeah,
thing.
wears it
And
as a
then
hat.
yeah, and then the door goes, and she goes, "Ah,
It's husband.
it's husband.
It's not husband.
It's this little slugger."
It is, and he smashes his mother-in-law.
Yeah, and then the nervous newcomer goes, "Hang on, I thought he's meant to attack people
People who were cornered.
who are
Yeah,
cornered,
emotionally cornered.
and wouldn't that be this thing? No, of course not. She has the door first.
She got to the door first. I guess Lil Slugger made a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of goes all weird. So basically, that's the entire kind of episode, and then the shy newcomer comes along, comes home, and sees her husband being smashed in
Bleeding
by
on the ground.
by Little Slugger, and he's like, "Oh, it was Little Slugger. Call an ambulance." And she's going, "Give us the goss. I want the goss. How
She
did he
shakes
do
him.
it? How did
She
he do it?"
shakes him.
And he just kind of collapses unconscious and goes, "How did he do it?" And then it
Oh,
pans out, and the apartment blocks that they're in spell ETC.
I actually like that. I actually thought that was quite good. I don't know. This is a this is an interesting one because it's nothing. It to me, it's nothing to do with the show. Like I guess like what it is trying to do is to illustrate the sort of psychology behind gossiping and how rumors spread and things like that. Even how believability becomes not necessarily the arbiter of whether something happened or not.
Yeah,
But yeah, it feels just a little bit slapdash for me.
it is. Like I say, I feel that both these episodes are kind of filler to the show. I don't
Hmm.
think they add too much in context of it. To be honest, um, they're just kind of like little. Oh, we have this, and we got these to do. Let's do some fun episodes. So, like, last episode was pretty good because it was kind of like a good story in itself. This one
Yeah,
here, it was all right. It was just basically a bunch of short stories. It's like that Simpson episode.
yeah, it was anthological. It sort of
Yeah,
reminded me of like horror movies from the 80s, like Creep Show and stuff like that, where it'd be like lots of smaller little stories being told in a vignette. Like it's like,
yeah,
hey, these people are having or a more modern example would be VHS. The VHS series is very like that. They'll have a wrapper
mhm.
around everything of like, oh, we found all these tapes, and then they'll watch some of the tapes and there are horrible things on them. It's
Mm.
sort of like that. And
Yeah.
like I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that. I think I think it's just that we're like I felt we were going somewhere
Mm.
in episode 7, and we've now slowed down quite a bit. Like we're not dealing with the actual overarching narrative anymore.
Mm.
Um,
Well,
and
it
I
makes
suppose the
filler
irony,
episode.
yeah, and a filler seems bad because I think that's probably maybe a little disingenuous because like filler I think tends to just be like we just need to pad for time, and I think instead this is like actually like there's good intent here. It's showing like um contemporaneous circumstance, like it's showing like hey, there are people who know of Lil Slugger and what like this is how it's impacting this odd suicide pact cult,
Mm.
and look how it's impacting the daily lives of people who live around the area and how it's becoming a problem for them. And like I think that's like those are not things that are boring to know. I just think with this one, like it's if you had done this later on, like as maybe a break before like the final few episodes or something like that, rather than maybe back to back, I would have also like I don't know, like it's a tough one. I don't think it's necessarily bad. I think it's just that I had just watched something that was a little detached already, and I don't think I needed another episode that was detached from the main story. So
Yeah. Well, wait until the next episode. Anyway, that's next week.
ah, yeah. But
Um,
yeah, like I get that the whole thing is supposed to be small windows into
mm,
different perspectives
mhm.
of what Little Slugger is doing. And I think that while that has been quite effective within, I guess I use this term like the main character grouping
Mhm.
of like Tsukiko and Ichi and things like that. Like we have a group of people who are linked by the actions of Little Slugger directly,
Yeah.
which then extrapolates further out to people who are indirectly impacted by Lil Slugger.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
like I say, I don't think that's an interesting question to ask.
Well, how about this then? Would it be more fair to say that the first 6 episodes were certainly a container of what was happening, and the more directness of the thing that was happening, and this here, these last 2 episodes at least are showing
Well,
is showing essentially it isn't just them. It's been affected by Little Slugger. So Little Slugger is because essentially the first 6 episodes essentially has came to the conclusion the Little Slugger is a mythical being of some sort.
well, it's
Uh,
technically the seventh episode that happens in, but you're probably
yeah,
not far off because what happens is
is it?
that last episode 6 is the one where uh the uh what's his name, uh Kozuka
Mhm.
uh is murdered, and he was a main part of that story and that narrative. And then we have Ikari and Manawa, who are these two police officers who haven't had they haven't been directly impacted by being attacked by Lil Slugger,
Mhm.
but we can see the ripples in the water. And I think it's almost like you're right. Like it feels a little bit like we are getting further out from the center of the ripple.
Mhm.
Like you have that the first 6 episodes feel very much like the epicenter of that, and then episode 7 is the kind of first extremity, and episode 8 is an extraction beyond that, and episode 9 is even further out because it's not even directly involving him at all. It's just people talking about him.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like we mentioned Terry Pratchett at the start, or at least during the
yeah,
last one. It's like his book Small Gods,
yeah,
where essentially the more people are talking about the god, the stronger the god will come. Essentially, is the story of that book where it was just a little tiny god, and he used to be powerful, but now everyone's forgotten him. It's not a. I don't think that's an unusual concept in Japan because
no,
there's been another anime or at least another couple of different animes where it is featured about gods and not being powerful, but they used to be more powerful because people knew who they were and feared
believed in
them.
them. Yeah,
Yeah,
like, and I think further to that as well is like the common idea that a name brings power in itself. In fact, hang on,
uh-huh.
Chainsaw Man.
Yeah,
Chainsaw Man is exactly that.
well, yeah, I suppose, yeah, because
Because the gun devil is becoming more powerful because more people believe and more people know who he is.
yeah,
So yeah, like that is a very direct extrapolation there. And I suppose even to an extent as well, you could go into things like demonology and the idea that, there's an interesting thing of like the knowledge of a demon can make them more powerful, but also knowing their name is some form of control over them. So
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. Like I don't want to be too harsh on this episode because I don't think it's fundamentally bad. I think it's unfortunate that I think it's the least interesting of a bunch of other good episodes with a good core concept, but
hmm
ultimately maybe not what I was looking for.
no, it's they do essentially expand on the story to a degree, but like I say, it's not directly impacting. It's still start to change again
Yeah.
next week for us. As I've watched the next 2 episodes already.
So what do you rate this one then?
Yeah, they're really gripped me. I liked the stories. The storytelling was good. There were good stories in the gossip that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And they changed up the art direction a bit in different episodes and that.
Yeah.
Uh, so I think I'll maybe have it as a 6 this one, just because it was good.
there are a bunch of animation supervisors in this one.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
A bunch of animation supervisors, a bunch of storyboarders, and a bunch of episode directors. So I think it's probably safe to say that they all like paired up and did them in sets.
Yeah.
The segments. Um, I I'm gonna give it a 7. Like I think I was gonna give it a 6, but I don't know if I would, like, if I'm thinking about my other scores, I don't think it would be too fair to put it further down. I think it's no, maybe a 6. Actually, no, maybe a 6 is fair. I think its only crime is that it's a less interesting episode than the other ones. Like, I think that's the real thing. But I think if I think about it in the pantheon of what the other episodes are, like we talk about the ripple effects, I think that's quite an interesting concept. So
Yeah. It's certainly. Aye. Oh, right. You'll have a probably a higher overall rating for the series as such.
yeah, I think, like, actually, now that I suppose, like, if once we watch the rest of it, and like I say, I've watched this years ago, but it's been a long time. Uh, One of the things I felt about Haruhi was that it it dropped off in the second season a bit for me,
Mm-hmm. Oh, is that Endless Eight?
and
Or just other things?
I really liked what Endless Eight was trying to do. I
Mm-hmm.
just wish it wasn't so samey. It kind of did. Like, I appreciate it more
I
than I liked it.
I liked it. I liked the concept, and I kind of liked Endless Eight to a degree, just because it was such a troll.
Yeah.
I but obviously may not been meant to be like that.
No, but then I think that second series, I think dipped off a little bit as well.
It
It
did,
just never
yeah.
really reached the heights as the first season did. But to your point, like, once we watch the rest of the series of Paranoia Agent, maybe this I'm going to look back on this episode and go, and here's where that fits. And that's what happened to me with Harry, because once I watched The Disappearance, I was like, you just can't have this movie without this season. It's
Yeah,
just so critically important to
yeah,
everything that happens in that movie. Um,
yeah.
so
Need to
yeah,
watch it to understand the movie. I remember watching the movie without watching all of Hierarchy, and I was like, that's nice.
yeah. I think watching it with all of the knowledge is wow, like, just a real wow. Um, I was gonna get that last year at Christmas and I didn't get it, and now I'm questioning myself again. I should probably get that.
What the movie?
Yeah, and I'm also questioning. I should probably get the series too.
The full series.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of good in that show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
that was certainly interesting.
okay, but we'll talk about that in our special at some point as well. So,
Yeah, I think so.
um, so I guess on that note, we've reached the end of another episode,
Mhm.
and you've been listening to Who's That Anime, an anime podcast which can be found where all good podcasts can be found. Our home is at anchor.fm/ Who's That Anime. We don't have any advertising. We never really plan to have any advertising on this. We don't really make any money on this, but if you like what it is we do, then leaving a review would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you like have already left a review or can't leave a review, then telling a friend about it would be also cool.
Yeah, have a comment like
Oh
PD
yeah,
PhD
weed,
on yapping.
weed, weed, illegal weed.
Yeah.
Uh, you can leave a comment about our PhDs in yapology. Um, uh, on top of that, we have a Facebook page. That's facebook.com/ Who's That Anime, where you can find the postings of all the latest episodes and the occasional anime. We have a Discord channel. You can find the link for that in the show notes. We also have a YouTube channel where, for two reasons now, Colin painstakingly, firstly, puts the episodes together in a video version. And second to that, you can also just get the RSS feed and listen to the podcast there.
Yeah.
You can find that by going to youtube.com and searching for @Who's That Anime. Colin and I occasionally like to play video games. If you'd like to see that, you can go to Colin's channel, which is twitch.tv/couchfuel, or my channel, twitch.tv/hailpayment. We occasionally play video games, like I say, but if you want to catch up on the archives of all the stuff that was there, you can find that on youtube.com as well by searching for @couchfuel or @hailpayment. And that's us.
Yeah. Another episode done, man. Another one in the bag.
Done and dusted.
It's done to our penultimate episode of Paranoia Agent.
Yeah, shit,
next week.
You're right. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. This is really coming fast.
It is. It's like Christmas is almost a stone throw away. I think it's December when this one goes out.
Oh my god, I'm also seeing that the disappearance of Nagato Yuki-chan is available on Blu-ray, Colin. I'm just double checking. I'm just having a quick look at my list of things there. No, I don't think so. This episode goes out on the last Sunday of the month of November.
I mean, we can see it over the horizon.
Oh yeah. We'll be finishing up Paranoia Agent in December. We'll be picking up our usual bonus episode, and then we'll be doing our New Year's and Christmas specials like always. And then picking up in the new year with something new.
Well, I'm continuing this, right?
No, we'll be done with this.
No, not like new.
Yeah.
I mean, like Paranoia Agent, yeah.
Paranoia Agent will be finished on the 10th of December.
Yeah, no, but like be like a new anime series.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the new thing that may be coming out in the future.
Oh no. That's a little bit down the pipe. We'll keep teasing that for a little bit. But yeah, we'll need to figure out what we want to watch next, I guess.
Well, I got some suggestions.
It is your turn.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I think I'm behind.
Yeah, you might need to choose the next couple.
Yeah, I got ideas. I got ideas that we can do.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, try and think of horrendous things for you to watch. That's why we started this channel, remember?
That is why we started this channel. Is why we started watching more and more anime. As a last thing, are you watching any other anime right now?
No, the last thing I watched was Castlevania
Nocturne.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh shit, yeah, that reminds me of one that's out on ITVX.
Really?
Yeah, they got some anime on that.
Oh. Okay. What stuff?
We've got Grand Larkin on it.
Oh, well, I have those. So.
Yeah. And they got one called Erased, which will be an interesting one to watch.
Okay.
I believe the ending is not to people's likings. I believe I heard bad thoughts about it. Like they kind of just ended it, and maybe I don't know. We should watch it, and then we can discuss if you rate the ending or not.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think it's an interesting one.
I think. Yeah, you're right. You're one anime behind.
Oh, just one behind, yeah.
Yeah, because well, to bring us even again, I think.
Well, I got the movie, the bonus episodes. This was my suggestion.
Oh, that's
too.
okay. The only reason I think we went with Elfen Lied and Paranoia Agent was because they were neatly 13 episode series. So
Yeah, I'll check what Erased is. I don't think it's too long.
I will very quickly check now. Let's find out. It is a mini series.
Yeah.
13 episodes. Yeah.
Thought it was, yeah.
Oh, well, all right. Maybe that would be a good next one then.
Yeah, it's kind of got a winter feel to it, if I remember right.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Animation, crime, drama. Yeah, okay.
They
There's
made a
definitely
live.
snow in this video.
Hmm?
There's definitely snow in the video.
Yeah. They made a live action series of it too, whereas I
Okay.
think it's taken better than the anime. But
Then I think we should do Pluto at some point. I really do.
yeah,
We could maybe do that as a 2-part bonus episode.
I'll play it.
Yeah, because it's only 8 episodes.
2-part bonus episode. Oh god. Discuss about 4 episodes in each part.
I'm just double checking how long the episodes are actually.
I think that might be quite long.
I'm just wondering if they are like 45-minute episodes, because if that's the case, that might not be the best idea.
Might not be.
No. Okay. Anyway, you wanna take us out?
Yeah, I suppose that's it. You've been watching Stephen Collin hosting Who's That Anime with the Paranoia Agent as the subject. And it's catch you same anime place, same anime time, same anime. Anime. I really don't know how to end that.
No. You try.
I
That's all we
try.
ask.
I try. One day I'll come up with the number one ending line of same. Maybe I say same too many times. Stay samey.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.